Okay, welcome to Saturday morning yoga. I am going to start seated today, but you're welcome to uh, take a seat or lie down, whatever you prefer as you start your yoga practice. We're just going to do a minute or two of some breathing just to come into the present moment and find yourself here in your body. So either eyes closed or just almost closed, whatever is more comfortable, and relaxing the back. If you're seated, you can just sit up really nice and tall, relax the shoulders. And let's start to take deep inhales through the nose and exhale, side out, open mouth. Again, deep inhale and side out. You made it to class today. Deep inhale. The hard part is over. Sigh it out. Sometimes the hard part is just getting yourself to class, talking yourself into it. And go ahead and continue to breathe deeply. Maybe keeping the mouth closed now, inhaling and exhaling. Nice long inhales and nice slow down exhales. And just be with your breath right now. So just really focusing, where do you feel the breath as it's coming in through the nostrils? Expanding the torso. So the rib cage expands as you breathe in, the belly expands, and then as you exhale, everything starts to contract. So just notice, just witness the flow of in and out. Let's take two more deep conscious breaths here, noticing what happens when you slow down. And what does happen? Maybe your mind starts to get active. Maybe you feel relief. You can finally stop moving. Maybe it's scary to stop moving. Just notice that. Noticing anywhere in the body that you might still be gripping or holding on. So find yourself scanning the body, noticing where there might still be some tension, and using the breath to soften those places. Staying with the breath. If the mind starts to get active and taking you to circumstances, just gently bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body. We're just here in this present moment, breathing, feeling what there is to feel, knowing what there is to know, and giving yourself just this moment of rest, this moment of presence. And allowing whatever surfaces. That's our practice today as we move through these postures, is allowing whatever wants to surface. It's not a practice that we do a lot of times in our waking life. We want to avoid, change the channel, think happy thoughts. Maybe we get to a place where we get stuck in the negative or stuck in denial. And so right now we just allow all of it, even if there's negativity, even if there's pain, we allow all of it to surface. We give it all space. And let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Again, giving yourself the space to be. And then as you're ready, making your way up to seated. So coming into just a gentle seated pose. Nice long spine, crown of the head is lifted towards the sky. And we'll begin by raising the arms as we take a deep inhale, reaching up towards the sun, and then drawing the hands together. Exhaling, bring the hands down to the heart. Again, deep inhale. And exhale, bring it in. Last time, inhale, reach up. Expanding the lungs, and exhale, bring it in. Hands come to the heart. Again, just closing the eyes and breathing into the thumbs pressed up against the heart center. From here, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together, come into your butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana, grabbing onto the ankles, the feet. You can loop the fingers around the toes, sitting up really nice and tall. And if it helps here, you can kind of move the fleshy parts of your butt back so that you can really, it kind of helps to rock the hips forward a little bit to find the proper alignment. And then from here, we're going to start to hinge forward at the waist. So keeping that spine nice and long, crown of the head reaches forward without the curling of the spine. We're just going to extend, almost like you're going to try and touch the wall in front of you with the top of your head. And breathe, feeling into the hips now. And then we're going to rock over towards the right knee, around to the back, over towards the left knee and forward. So we're moving in a circle around in our butterfly pose. And the breath is still moving. Maybe the eyes are still closed. And we're just noticing, what does it feel like to move? Maybe there's some stiffness. Just notice. And then we're going to move the opposite direction. So moving in a circle the other way. And then coming back to your starting point, seating up nice and tall. Take a little twist here. So it doesn't matter which way you go first. Bring the opposite hand across to the opposite knee, other hand behind. Sit up really nice and tall, twisting, gazing over your shoulder. As you inhale, reach up even taller. And as you exhale, maybe you deepen the stretch. And then gently unwind. Let's go and take the other side. Opposite hand, twisting, gazing behind you. Again, inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, deepen the twist. And gently come back around to center. Grabbing the outside of the knees, bring the knees back together, and then extend your legs forward. You can shake out the knees a little bit. And then from here, we want to, again, kind of move this flesh out of the way so you can really sit up nice and tall. So nice, long crown of the spine lifted up. From here, instead of hinging forward like we would normally do, we're going to actually curl the spine. So now we're going to bring the chin to the chest and start to curl the spine, bringing the nose towards the knees. Let the arms just rest at your sides so the shoulders are hanging. And you're starting to kind of curl the spine towards the knees. So we're really stretching out the shoulder blades and the upper back. And breathe. So this isn't really about reaching your toes. You're not trying to reach your toes here. You're resting the arms, let the shoulders relax, and bring the chin in towards the chest. The nose comes towards the knees. One more breath here. And then we're going to uncurl the spine. So nice and slow, one vertebra at a time, coming all the way back up. Take the chin to one shoulder. Take the opposite hand to that shoulder. Little twist. And then opposite side. And then coming back to center, bring the left foot into the right inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to keep that flat back, reach for the toes. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, hinge from the waist. And instead of coming over this kind of like center, you want to start to bring the torso over that right leg. So it might feel a little twisty. And if you're here, that's fine. And walking yourself down, reaching forward with the chest, reach forward with the nose. Maybe you grab the foot here, maybe not, doesn't matter. Breathe. And if this right knee needs to bend a little, that's okay too. You could also use a strap here if you have that accessible to you to help you come down. And I want you to start to breathe nice and deep. We're going to come just a little lower. And then carefully, slowly walk yourself back up, and we'll switch sides. So now bring the right foot in, left leg, center the torso over that left leg, reach up nice and tall through the crown of the head, then hinge at the waist, walking the hands forward. Maybe, again, here you grab the foot, maybe you grab the shin, the ankle, reaching the heart forward, reach the nose forward, relax the shoulders, soften the face, breathe. Noticing where you feel the stretch. Maybe you can breathe into that tightness if you're experiencing tightness. Maybe you start to come a little deeper. And slowly making your way back up. Take both legs out in front. Shake them out a little bit. Go ahead and plant the feet on the floor. Knees are together. Grabbing, you can interlace the fingers here around the knees. And we're just going to start to cat-cow here. So we're going to round the back, lean back, tuck the chin, spread the shoulder blades. And then push the chest forward. Inhale, lift the chin. Shoulder blades start to squeeze together and down. Let's do that again. Round the upper back, tuck the chin. And bring the chest forward. Inhale. And release. From here, you're going to kick the feet to the side, come onto hands and knees, and let's make our way here. Let's try another cat-cow here. Get the rest of the spine involved. Pushing down through the hands, drop the belly, lift the chin, chest shines forward, and then rounding the back. Tuck the chin, shoulder blades spread wide. Again, drop it down and lift it up. And coming back to your neutral spine, we're going to walk the hands forward now. Lean forward into the hands. Let's take our circles here. So we're going to lean over towards the right hip, around like you're going into child's pose, and then over to the other side and forward again. So we're moving in a circle. And you can let this be as expressive as you want. Maybe you want to Get the head involved as you move. Maybe it just feels good to close the eyes and move with your breath. And switching directions, fluid movement here. And then we'll meet back in our plank pose, crown of the head reaching forward. And then sink it back towards the heels. Child's pose. Once again, reaching forward, reach the crown of the head to the top of the mat. Then we're going to lower the heart in between the hands. Hips stay lifted. Bring the chin to the floor. And then from here, we're going to scoot everything forward. Come onto the belly. Tops of the feet come down. From here, we're going to take the right cheek to the mat. Right arm reaches out to the side, rolling to the right side. Pick up that left knee, bending the knee, and the foot may or may not find the floor. Little twist here. Keep your head down and breathe. You could also use your left hand to kind of push the floor away from you if you want to deepen your stretch. And then rolling back onto the belly. Bring the forehead now to the mat, and we'll try the other side. Left arm reaches out, left cheek to the mat, pushing into that right hand to roll to the left side, bend the knee, send the foot behind you. Find your breath here. And then rolling back to the belly. Bring the left hand in. So both hands now underneath the shoulders. Hug the elbows into the ribs. Tops of the feet press down. Pubic bone presses down as you start to lift the upper body. And you can put no weight into the hands here, just lifting through the spine. Or if you like to challenge yourself, you could try pushing down, deepening that stretch. And roll it down. Let's try that one more time. Lift up, heart forward, push down through the tops of the feet, knees perhaps are lifted up off your mat, and roll it down. Pushing to all fours, and then make your way back to child's pose. Let's keep the knees together for right now. Send the tailbone back towards the heels. You can either have arms outstretched, or you can cross the arms, rest the forehead on folded arms. Hang out here for a moment in child's pose and just breathe. Coming back to that sense of presence, present in your body with your breath. And then taking both arms over to the right, sinking the chest over that right leg. Bring the hand down. Reaching through that left hand. So we're getting a stretch through the left shoulder. And then let's try the opposite side. Hands come over to the left. Sink the chest over the left leg. Reaching through the right arm. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So bringing the weight forward again into the hands, tucking the toes. Lift the knees, lift the hips. Push the hands down into the floor so the floor pushes away from you. The hips lift higher, higher, higher. And then we start to sink the heels down towards your mat. And let's pedal the feet here. Getting a nice stretch through the calves. You can go at whatever pace feels good to you. Maybe you want to hold one side or both sides a little longer. And just noticing, what do the backs of your legs feel like today? Mine are a little tight, so I'm spending a little longer on each leg. And then starting to make your way towards your hands. Walking up nice and slow. Forward fold, knees are bent. Top of the head hangs down. Maybe you shake the head out. So maybe you do it, shake it no, nod yes. And then slowly, slowly, we're going to roll up to standing, keeping the spine curled until the very last moment. And we come all the way up to our mountain pose. So find yourself, your mountain pose. Feet are hip width distance apart, toes facing forward, soft knees. Relax the shoulders. And then if you notice you're kind of standing here, we want everything to be in a line. So we want the hips to be centered over the heels. And we want the shoulders stacked over the hips. And then the crown of the head is lifted, reaching up. Arms can relax at your sides. And just find yourself here. Find your feet. Notice yourself rooted here. Big deep breaths. Eyes can close. Come back to your presence in the present moment. Here we are again. The present moment is here again. And breathe. Notice if you spend time in the future or the past. If you can truly, truly be present with whatever, again, whatever's happening, allowing whatever happens here. And then we're going to start to just bounce the knees, bounce the arms. We're just going to kind of let your body do what it wants to do here. We're shaking it out. We get lots of stuckness, stagnation in the body, especially this time of year when it's still kind of cold. So we're just going to shake it out. Whatever your body wants to do, shake out the arms, shake out the legs, shake out the head. Come back to your mountain pose. Find that moment of stillness again. And feel what it feels like. Maybe it feels more alive in your body. Maybe there's like a tingling or a warmth now that you're still again. Just notice that. Maybe your heart rate picked up. And then taking the feet out a little wide. Hands can come to the hips. We're going to do our hip circle. So soft knees. We're moving the hips around in a circle. And then we'll go the other way. And then coming back to your starting position, let's do the kind of the same thing with the arms. We're just going to let the arms come up, back, and down. Big sweeping circles. Maybe the eyes close here. And then go the opposite way. Rounding the back as you come forward. And coming back to your stillness, your mountain pose. So today for our balance pose, we're going to work with eagle pose. If you struggle with balance, it could be helpful to have a block. So if you are using a block, what you'll do is when you cross one foot over the other, you can balance your toes here on your block. The other option would be With no block, you can just balance your toes on the floor, or the third variation would be to hover the toes and keep the knees crossed, okay? So find whichever, I'm gonna just demonstrate it with the block, I think, today. So whichever way works the best for you. We're working on our balance, right? So we're starting here in mountain pose. We're gonna just have the hands at the hips for now, shifting the weight. We're gonna bounce on our left foot first. So the block can be on the outside of your left foot. Soft knees, shift the weight over to the left foot, pick up the right foot. And then we're crossing at the knees. And then those right toes are either on the block or on the floor. And then see if, I'm gonna turn to the side now. We're crossing at the knees. This might be enough, or maybe you send the tailbone back like you're sitting in your chair pose, right? And then maybe you start to play with your balance here. Maybe the toes can lift off your block, maybe not. What's helpful in a balance pose is to find something to stare at. I'm gonna stare at Otis. Usually it's best to find something to stare at that's not moving, but he's not really moving, so it works. Maybe think a little lower. And then start to come up and uncross the legs. And then you can roll that left ankle a bit. And let's try the other side. So we've got the block now on the outside of the right foot. Standing up nice and tall, shift the weight to the right foot, pick up the left foot, cross at the knees, both knees bend, and then your toes are either on your block or on the floor, or lifted as you start to sit back. Nice long spine, find your focal point. One more breath here. And then carefully start to come back up, uncross the legs, and roll the right side. So we're going to do that again. This time we're going to add the arms, okay? So we start with the block again on the outside of the left foot. We are going to do the arms first, and then we'll add the legs. So reaching the arms up overhead. We're going to bring the left arm, cross it over the right, bend the elbows, draw the hands together. If this doesn't happen in your body, you could also just grab opposite shoulders, like if you want to do this, okay? So elbows are crossed, reaching the arms up, so elbows are in line with the shoulders. Now shift the weight onto your left foot, pick up the right foot, cross at the knees, bending the knees, sitting back in your chair, in your eagle pose, and breathe. Find your peripheral vision here. This is how we balance in eagle pose. We use our peripheral gaze. What do you notice here? Maybe you notice some heat building in the body as you sit down a little lower. One more breath here. And start to gently come back up. Let's uncross the legs, uncross the arms. Shake everything out. And then we'll do the other side. So switching your block if you're using a block. Coming back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up overhead. This time the right arm is going to come on top. Bend the elbows, draw the hands together. Lift the elbows up. Once you're steady here, start to switch the weight onto the right foot. Pick up the left foot. Cross at the knees. Find your block or your floor or your balance. And start to sit back. Breathe. Find your peripheral gaze again. Deepen the breath. What do you notice here? What do you notice about this present moment? One more breath. Coming all the way back up. Uncross the feet, uncross the arms. Shake it all up. You made it. You made it. All right, so you can set your block to the side, coming up to the top of your mat, mountain pose. Inhaling, arms up overhead, reaching up as tall as you can, and then leading with the heart, flat back, soften the knees as you come all the way down to your forward fold. Let the head hang. Let's come up for a halfway lift. Hands come to the shins. Inhale, reach the crown of the head forward. And exhale, float it down. And that feels so good. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, float it down. From here, we're going to take a big step back with your right foot. And we're going to come up into a crescent lunge. So we want to find buoyancy in the knees. We're going to, you can walk that back foot in a little bit if you went too far, totally up to you. From here, softening through the knees, push down into the feet as you come all the way up. Arms sweep up all the way up. So you'll notice here, my feet are not in a line, but there's, you know, in line with my hips. Okay. So we're here again, woo, working on our balance, find something to stare at. And then we're gonna sweep the arms down and back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then reach it up. Breathe in and exhale, sweep it back. Again, inhale up and sweep it back. Crown of the head reaches forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Now we're going to switch this back foot into warrior two. So we're going to rotate the foot, set the heel down, arms to reach out, warrior two, and find your breath here. So now this front heel is dissecting that back arch. Relax the shoulders. Let's do the same thing here. Straighten the front leg as you lift the arms up overhead. Inhale and exhale. Warrior two. Keep moving with your breath. Making this movement as fluid as you can. Maybe the eyes closed. Let's do one more. Inhale up and exhale. Warrior two. Let's reverse warrior. Drop the back hand, front hand flips over. Reach it up. Reach it back. Back to warrior two. From here, reaching the arms up overhead, we're going to straighten the left leg, turn the toes towards the long side of your mat. Right, so we're here. Bring the arms out in your T shape, and then with a flat back, fold forward. Bring the hands down to the floor or down to a block. Let the head hang. Knees can be just soft here, so we don't need to lock the knees, but we can just have soft knees. We're going to walk the hands over to the right foot, bend the right knee, keep the left leg nice and long. So we're getting now into the inner thigh. And then we'll walk the hands over to the left foot and bending the left knee, keep the right leg straight. And let's do that one more time to each side. And one more time. And then coming back to center, go ahead and reach the crown of the head for the floor. Maybe take the hands to reach behind you. So turning the fingers away from you, walking the hands back. And then coming back forward again. We're going to walk over to the left foot, turn the left toes towards the top of your mat. Turn the right toes as well. We're coming back into now a low lunge. Right hand to the floor, left arm reaches up. And float the left hand down, step it back to plank. So this front foot's gonna reach all the way back. Plank pose, knees can be up or down. Inhale, deep breath, crown of the head reaching for the top of your mat. And as you exhale, let's do the same one we did earlier. Lower the heart in between the hands. Keep the hips lifted. Bring the knees or the chin down to the mat. And then you're going to slide the hips forward. Come into your cobra. From here, we're making our way back to downward facing dog. Pushing up, tucking the toes. Lift up. Push the floor away from you. Remember, we want to see if we can rotate those upper arms to have the creases of the elbows shining forward. Let's take another deep cleansing breath here. And then start to walk the feet up to the hands, forward fold. Inhale halfway. And exhale down. Bend the knees, send the arms wide. Inhale all the way up, reaching up. And exhale, hands come into heart. Take a moment here, find yourself with your breath in your mountain pose. Find a moment of stillness again. Relax the shoulders. And we'll try the other side. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale, fold at the waist, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale down. Step back with the left foot this time. And keeping that front knee bent. Remember, we're coming up into our crescent lunge. So pushing down through the feet as we roll up, reach the arms, crescent lunge. That back knee can be bent, or you can try lifting from the back of the thigh. Push down into the feet. So find some buoyancy here. And then we're going to sweep the arms back, reach the head forward, inhale up, and sweep it back. Exhale. Again, moving with our breath. One more time. Inhale, reach it up. Now we're going to shift that back foot, warrior two. So check in with your feet. Check in with this bent knee. Make sure it's not coming in towards the ankle, but moving right in line with those middle toes. Reaching through both fingers. Gazing over the right middle finger. And then straightening the leg as we reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, back down. And we're moving with our breath here, creating really fluid movements. And one more. Backhand comes to the left leg, right hand flips over, palm up, reach up and back. Gaze goes up towards the top corner where the wall and the ceiling meet. And back to warrior two. From here, we're going to straighten the right leg, turn the toes towards the long side of your mat. Reach it up, inhale, and then exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Let the head hang again. From here, left hand will come either to a block or to the floor. Block is right underneath kind of your breastbone here. Left hand down, right arm up. Take the gaze up as well if you want to challenge yourself, or you can take the gaze down towards your hand on the floor if you need more stability and balance today. So really open the chest. If you notice your arms going but your chest isn't, see if you can start to rotate the rib cage open. And float the right hand down, other side. Left arm reaches up this time. Breathe. And float the left hand down. From here, we're going to walk the hands back over to the right foot, turn both toes towards the top of the mat, bending the right knee, and step back to plank. Inhale through plank. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the heart in between the hands, chin comes down. And then we scoot the hips forward, untuck the toes, lift up for cobra. And exhale, push up, downward facing dog. 2 deep cleansing breaths here in your down dog. Come back to presence. And walk it to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale down. Bend the knees, send the arms wide. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Find your breath. Relax the arms. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway. And exhale down. Step back to down dog. Last down dog today. Make it a good one. If you feel like you want to move around in your down dog, go ahead and do that. And then come down to the knees. And then untuck the toes. We're going to sit back onto the feet and then go ahead and let your, let's see, right hip fall off to the side. So you're sitting like this. That makes sense. And then we're going to turn the chest towards that right leg. Little twist here. And then maybe you start to come down towards the floor. And maybe you're right here, and that's okay too. And coming all the way back up from here, sitting up nice and tall. Let's see which way. We're going to take the left ear to the left shoulder. So now we're stretching out the right side of the neck. Two more breaths here. And then go ahead and unwind the body. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now bringing the legs to the right, we're going to twist over now the left knee. Notice what's different about this side. And then maybe you start to make your way down. Breathing. And coming all the way back up. And now we're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder. So we're getting a stretch to the left side of the neck. One more breath here. And then go ahead and untwist yourself. You can bring the legs out in front of you, take the feet a little wide, and we're going to just rotate through the hips. So you can either have your hands down for more support as you come side to side, or if you want to challenge yourself, you could have the hands lifted, moving just really nice and slow, nice and fluid, checking in with the hips. Coming back to now your starting point, kick the feet to the side, come to hands and knees. We're going to take pigeon pose, but we're going to do a really gentle version of pigeon today. So we're going to bring the right knee towards the right wrist, and then the heel comes towards the left wrist. And then instead of, well, you can. Okay, so you have options, right? So you could scoot the left leg back and come into this more intense version of pigeon, or you can also fall off to the right side so you're on that right hip and walk the hands forward. So this would be a gentler version, but you're welcome to do whatever version of pigeon you like the best. Find your breath here. And maybe your head is on a block. Maybe your arms are resting on a block here. Lots of options. One more breath here, and then we'll switch sides. And as you're ready, start to make your way back up. We're going to take this right knee back now and bring the left knee forward. So left knee comes towards the left wrist, the ankle towards the right wrist. And then again, you can either scoot that right leg back and stay here, or you can fall off to the left side and your hands could come to a block, or you can try making your way all the way down. Find your breath. We're going to hold and breathe. Another option would be to rest your forehead on a block or rest your forehead on your forearms. One more breath here. And then go ahead and come back up and come back to all fours. Let's do one cat-cow here. And come back to your neutral spine. So from here, we're going to make our way into fish pose. So as I mentioned in the beginning, you can either grab your two blocks, or you can also, I'll show it with the blocks and with just a rolled up blanket or mat. So if you're doing it with your mat, placing the mat or blanket across this way, and then you want to hit this mat right at that spot under the shoulder blades at the bra line, and then the head will reach back, the arms can go wide. So this is one version you could do, and we'll hold. If you have blocks with you and you want to use those, you'll set the block that's going to go at your bra line going this way, and then the one that will support your head going the tall way. And so you're here, you want to line up this block right at that spot, and then the other block will come right under your head. Again, relax your shoulders, let your arms just hang at your sides, and your legs can do whatever is comfortable. So if it's comfortable to keep knees bent, feet on the floor, that's fine. You could come into butterfly. You could even cross the legs, or you can extend them out. So find whatever works. If you want a deeper stretch, you could take the one under your head and move the block to go a different height. And we're just going to hang out here and breathe. So this is really opening through the chest, the heart center. Notice how you breathe differently here, if you breathe differently here. And this is a really great pose to help correct our posture. We tend to kind of hunch over looking at our devices and being on our computers and things. So this is a really great pose to help correct that rounding through the upper back and the neck. And we breathe. It can also sometimes help to release grief and sadness, as we tend to store that emotion in the chest. So this is a great way to allow some of that stuckness to move through you. And see if again you can allow whatever's coming up today. And if this pose is really uncomfortable, you can feel free to come right out. We just, that's part of our yoga practice, is noticing if something doesn't feel good in your body and then adjusting. Not being afraid to be uncomfortable, but we don't want things to be painful. Notice, is this uncomfortable or is this painful? And then you move from that place. Let's take 2 more deep cleansing breaths here. And as you're ready, bending the knees, feet on the floor, and you're just going to roll off to your side. It protects the neck. And then you can make your way back up to seated. You can remove your props out of the way. And we are going to come into our Shavasana. Ooh, before we come into Shavasana, let's do a little opposite spine action. So coming back onto the back, hugging the knees into the chest, lifting the head towards the knees, and then letting the head come back down as you rock side to side. Or maybe you rock up and down the spine, whatever feels good. Just being careful of your neck. And then go ahead and make your way to Shavasana. So grabbing socks, blankets, pillows, whatever you need to be warm and cozy. And preparing yourself for a short relaxation practice. So getting really cozy, comfy. Maybe you have something under your head, if that feels good. And making any adjustments so that you can be really comfortable on your back. If it doesn't feel good to extend your legs, you could always keep the knees bent, feet on the floor. What I would suggest, if you're going to do that, is just to take your feet wide and let your knees fall in towards each other, because that will just be more comfortable on your low back. Arms at your sides. Maybe you take up space. Maybe you want to take the arms wide. Maybe the legs go wide. And now just kind of wriggling your spine down into the floor. Really letting go of the back. You don't have to hold yourself up right now. You can just let the floor hold you. So you can really give all of your weight down into the floor as you slow down the breath. We're going to relax the body while the mind remains alert, awake, but fully relaxed. So see if you can stay in the present moment without taking your thoughts away to the future. And if you notice that you're doing that, just come back to the breath. And so now we'll start by bringing the inhale in through the nose, down the torso, down the legs, all the way down to the feet. And your exhale will come from the feet up the legs, all the way up the torso and back out the nose. So we're going to practice that a few times. Inhaling all the way down to the feet. And exhale, bring the exhale from the feet all the way up the body and out the nose. 2 more times. Feeling your body soften with each breath. And now bringing your awareness down to the soles of the feet, relaxing the feet and the toes, and then spreading that relaxation to the ankles and lower legs, feeling them soften. And now the knees relax, the backs of the knees. And now up into the upper leg. So relaxing from the hip joint to the knee, softening. And now bring your awareness to the hands, softening, relaxing the hands and the fingers, all the way out to the tips of the fingers and the thumbs. Relax the wrists and lower arms. And now the elbows. And all the way up to the shoulder joint. Take a breath, let the arms get really heavy with relaxation. And now bringing the awareness to the pelvis, the hips, the low belly, the tailbone. And as you breathe, soften this area, deeply relaxed. And now moving up into the low back, the belly, the navel, softening. Noticing the breath moving the belly, moving the rib cage as you soften through the rib cage. Relax the middle back, all the way up to the shoulder blades, and relaxing the space between the shoulder blades and the chest. And now up into the upper back, the back of the neck. The throat relaxes. And now relax the jaw, the tongue, the teeth, the lips, the corners of the mouth, the cheeks, the nose and sinuses. Relax the eyes, the eyelids, the eyebrows, the forehead. Feel all the tiny muscles around the eyes relax. Relaxing the scalp and the ears, the back of the head. Feeling the whole body relax. And staying present with the breath. in a state of stillness. Just rest here for a moment, letting everything come to a stop. And now start to deepen the breath, the inhale and the exhale. Notice yourself lying on the floor, relaxed. Notice the fingers and toes start to wiggle, the wrists and ankles. And then reaching the arms up overhead for a stretch. And then carefully making your way onto your side before coming up to seated. Hey, I'm gonna move you. I had a visitor while I was laying down. All right, sit down. So making your way back up to seated, and as we get ready to go back to our day, taking with us that presence, that peace, that stillness. And if you're ready, bringing hands to the heart, taking a deep breath in and let it go. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.